Active Directory is basically used to uh, manage the nodes in network, users,
Hmm.
give permissions, create group.
Okay. Sanjay, what about you? Ibrahim, you know something about Active Directory?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is Active Directory?
Active Directory is a service rule that is installed on server uh, to make a domain. So
Hmm.
in that domain, the Active Directory will have all I would say resources in the network, like will be controlled by the Active Directory.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else would like to add to it? Sanjay, do you know what is Active Directory?
So what I understand from it, because we use it in office, uh,
Hmm.
so it helps you manage accounts of various other cloud users. You can deactivate their cloud profile. You can activate their cloud profile. You can remove cloud users. You can add new cloud users.
Okay.
That's where you manage all the existing users who are on cloud. I mean, that's what
Okay.
I understand from Active Directory. It helps you manage the access of various users on the cloud or basically on that network.
Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
can we say it is like a
Little louder, Ritik. You are always, I don't know, something is wrong with your system.
sir?
Not
It only
audible.
happens here only. I have class
Hmm.
with Sophia and sir. It be a smooth one.
Hmm.
But when it comes
Okay.
to your class, it always be a problem.
Hmm.
So I'm
Okay.
saying that Active Directory might be a active users list or like
Hmm.
a list of active users.
Okay.
Uh, Manoj, first just texted me. So he actually did not answer the call, but he texted me just now that he is joining.
All right.
Yeah.
So, see, we have to understand two terms. One is authentication and other is authorization. So, Madassir, do you know what is authentication? What is authorization? What is the difference between the two terms?
No, Manoj, no idea.
Okay. Anyone who knows, don't Google, okay? It's okay. If you don't know, it's fine. Googling is doodling. See, we have two requirements in a enterprise or in a company. We have two things which is required. One is authentication, another is authorization. So what it is that we have to see, just a second, I'll tell you. Just opening one presentation. Okay, I'll just display this now. I'll share my screen now. Can you all see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so authentication and authorization, I was explaining you. Authentication means to prove your identity. Means if the user is connecting to the system, then the system should check its identity. The simplest way is your username password. Okay, using username
Okay.
password. That is the simplest way of checking through username password. All right. Now that is called as authentication. So if we have a IT system, we need something by which we can authenticate the users, something to create the user account. Okay, because so many people are going to use the IT system, so we need something who is going to where we can create the user account, username, password, and the people can log in. So that process is known as authentication. Authentication means checking the identity of a person, of a user. Okay, but then what is authorization? One is authentication. What is authorization? Authorization means, okay, the person got access, but what he can access, what that person can access, authorization.
What is the rights?
Which files, which applications the person can access, that is called authorization. So don't you think it's a necessary thing for every organization?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, because some users cannot have permission to all the functions or all the sides of the network.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
depending on their role, any network admin would give them authorization to only specific modules or specific things in the network that they should have access to, depending on their roles and functions.
Right, right, correct. That is correct. So that is the authorization part. So we have authentication and we have authorization. So these are two things. Clear, everyone? Mudassir, clear to you? What is authentication? What is authorization?
Yes, yes. Clear.
So we need uh, these facilities, and that was provided by something called Active Directory on-premises network. If you consider on-premise network means what? The networks which are uh, built in the office. That's called on-premise. So on-premise network, you have many computers, many users. So for ages, we have a service called as Active Directory functioning, right? Which will do this job of authentication and authorization. All right. Okay. So when you talk about Active Directory, it is meant for on-premise network. Is this clear to everyone? So
Yes.
Active,
Yes.
so Active Directory is a database of users, groups, security, etc. So you create users. If anybody want access, then users created, group is created. What is group? What is the difference in user and group? Group is a
Group that contain either users or
It
machines.
could be entire department. So security for an entire department.
yeah. Ibrahim, you tell me what is group?
Group that it's a container who contain the users
Hmm.
and groups and machines.
Yeah, group is the collection of users.
Users. Yeah.
Group is a collection of users.
Mm.
Okay. And we can give permission to a group instead of a particular user.
Yeah.
So it is a good way to administrate. So what do you want? Do you want to give permission to particular user or you want to give a group? Which is better to manage?
Group.
Group.
Group is anytime better. Okay. Arfat, are you there? AA is what? Arfat.
Yes, sir.
No, it's Ritik.
Okay. Clear?
Yes. Yeah.
So thumb rule of administration is creating a group and put people member of make people member of the group and give permissions authorization to group rather than a particular user. That will make your job easier. So this is very important when you are managing any network, any enterprise, how to administrate smoothly. You have to understand how to do the administration in an easy way, smoother way. You have to understand.
Mm.
Okay. And if you join any company also, you will find that the groups will be already ready. So you may not get chance to work right from scratch. So already groups will be there. If any new person joins in, you create a user account and then you just make that user member of particular groups. And as soon as you add them to particular groups, they get the permissions. So don't you think your job becomes easier that way?
Yeah.
Getting everybody the concept of group,
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
then it is used to create a domain in on-premises network. Now the word domain is very important. What is this domain? Anybody knows what is a domain? When you say domain means what exactly? Anybody knows that?
It's a group of machine in one network, leading by one server or controlled by one server.
Hmm. Anyone else? Anybody else would write?
So Manoj, what I have seen,
Hmm.
so let's say there are different networks. I mean, one particular team or one particular department uses one sort of network, and the other team uses the same cloud network, but they have different type of domain assigned to them. So that way also domain helps us categorize. So let's say there's a team of 10 people, they work in XYZ department. They have a separate domain that they log into compared to the other team. So that helps them segregate those users and give those users access to only that particular domain, not any other domain. So it's
All right.
basically forming a group or forming a family of computers which are assigned to that domain.
Yeah, as I've mentioned here, domain is like a family. You're creating a family.
Correct.
This word family is coined by me. Okay, no book will tell you family. I'm telling you family. Okay.
Mm.
So domain is like a family of computers controlled by one or more domain controllers. Because see, the challenge is about authorization, but challenge is also about the policies. Like, okay, like you don't want to give access to some control panel or something. You want to control users and computers. The network means what? It has got users, it has got computers. So you want to control them all.
Yeah.
Okay, users and computers you want to control somehow.
Hmm.
So it's just like controlling a family. If you are family, then you have head of family, your mother, father, elder brother, elder sister. They work like controllers.
Mm.
They make some rules and regulation. According to that, everybody work, right?
Mm.
Something like that. So when you build a network, you make a domain controller in that network. Domain means family in very simple language. And domain controller is someone who will manage the whole or
Yeah.
all policies, settings, everything you will do over there. Is this clear to everyone? Does it make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hmm. Great. So that is domain controller. Okay. So I'll just Go take a snip. Keep taking snips. Okay. So take a snip of this. So this is a diagram I've drawn here. So here you see that you have how many domain controllers do you see here?
Two
Two.
domain.
Yes,
Two.
we have two domain controllers. Why do we have two domain controllers? For fault tolerance.
If anyone just went
Yeah.
goes down, then
If one domain controller goes down, the other domain controller is there. So we want some kind of fault tolerance backup. And that's the reason we have two domain controllers here. If one fails, the other will take it up. Okay. Just like mother and father, if father is sick, mother takes some responsibilities, right?
yeah.
And vice versa, like that. Clear? And they can divide the roles also. The family will function in a better way because mother will take up some roles, father will take up some roles. So the functioning also will be smoother. So normally every company who is having a network like this, they will maintain two domain controllers. It's recommended. Minimum two domain controllers are recommended. Is this clear to everyone?
Mhm.
Ritik, clear?
Yes, sir.
So if one domain controller goes down, the other domain controller is there. So that is called fault tolerance. Another is performance. Performance means the roles will be distributed. In case anything happens to, I mean, they can divide the roles, so the performance will be better. Clear now?
Yeah.
Sanjay, clear?
Yes, Manoj. Yeah.
Okay, great.
I've taken the snip also.
Okay, yeah. So this diagram shows a domain called softtools.local. This is like a family name. Domain name is like a family name. Like you all have family name, right? The surname. You have a surname, that is your family name, right? So similarly,
Yes.
when you build a domain, you have a family name. Like here, I'm calling it as softtools.local because it's a local family. It's a local network I'm making. So we put .local. But if it is on internet, then we'll put .com or whatever. You have to take a domain name like that from authorized party. If you have any questions, please ask me. Okay. Mudassir, any question? Please ask.
Manoj, I had
Yeah,
one
yeah,
query.
sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
so we come across this term a lot in office also. What exactly do they mean by single sign-on?
Yeah. Good question. SSO, single sign-on. Anybody knows what is single sign-on? Mudassir, do you know what is single sign-on?
Uh,
I can't hear you.
no.
Okay. Arfat knows a
It,
lot of things.
no, it's just single sign-on. It's like you give permission one time and you don't need to enter the password or your details again. Like with one click, you will access the data. This is
Hmm.
what I have used on my laptop. So in simple words, I can explain like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Arfat, what is single
Yes, sir.
sign-on?
I think Mudassar is right. Kind of a similar concept where you give the permission to
Hmm.
sign in by just doing a single click.
Hmm.
Single single sign-on is like it's like you need to sign on once
Hmm.
to the domain,
Hmm.
and then you get all service, not all service or like that. You don't need just to sign every time to get something.
Right.
It is single sign-on.
Correct, correct. Yes, Ibrahim. Yeah, single sign-on means the basic problem is like we get, if you see our real world also, everywhere there's password. We don't you get really mad? Bank, there is another password. Mobile, there's another username password.
Hmm.
Correct.
If you your computer, another username password. You go to any other, I mean, everywhere is something else, and your life becomes mess, isn't it?
Yeah.
So just imagine in an organization that every damn server you touch, it will ask you username, password.
Mm.
Okay.
Getting?
Yeah.
Any damn application you access, username, password again. Don't you think you will go mad?
Yeah,
Half the
makes sense.
time, half of the time we just giving username password.
Yes, username, password, username, password. At least I'm sick of that. Using, and that too, they ask you to change also after some time. Change.
Yeah.
Correct.
After 1 month, after
And when you want to really very badly access something, that time only it will ask change the password. Password expired. So you can go mad again, right?
yeah.
So everybody
Uh,
experience this kind of experience. Everybody has this experience. Hmm?
yes.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yes, yes.
so
Yeah.
Manoj,
So
just to use an example here, I mean, even Arfat would know. So there is a particular application which we install for hospitals in the US. So when we are actually installing it, and
hmm,
when we are on the installation wizard, there is a
hmm,
screen where sometimes when we are installing a game, we just click on next, next, next till the installation completes. So there is
hmm.
one particular screen where there is a checkbox called as do not install single sign on, and that checkbox is already unchecked. So I'm assuming that must be probably to maintain safety so that users cannot get into their application with just a single click. So they must be keeping it unchecked, mainly to maintain safety and security, correct?
Yeah, that's fine because you're maintaining a lot of
Data,
what to
yeah.
say,
Correct.
no, different organizations you're maintaining. But if you have a single organization,
Mhm.
everything belongs to you. We don't want to every time put username, password. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
But if these are different, totally different organizations, then you don't want with single click to access all the organizations, right?
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
So maybe that is the
Okay.
reason.
Correct. Got it.
Okay. But
Yes.
for a given organization, you want to access all damn servers, all damn services with single username password. Once you log into your system, class,
Yeah. You are
it
in.
should
Correct.
not ever ask you again, put username password.
Mm.
Correct.
Clear now?
Yes.
So with that single sign on, you are able to access all the services provided you are authorized for that. Because authorization is also there. No, it is not that you're logged in means you can access everything.
You have some.
Internally, it will create a ticket for you, and based on that, a token for you. Based on that, it is going to give you access to all the services.
Yeah.
Is this clear to everyone now? Single sign on is clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So this is the scenario on premises where they install domain controllers. On domain controllers, they install Active Directory software. Means domain control is nothing but a computer, a server with say Windows 16, Windows Server 2016 operating system, for example. And on that you install the
Yeah.
Active Directory. So it becomes a domain controller. Getting me? Clear? Everyone clear?
Yeah.
So this guy will do, it will give the experience of single sign-on.
Mm.
It will do authentication, authorization.
Yeah.
So if any new user come, where will you create the user? On the domain controller. And once the user is created, the user can sign in from any station. He's become family ka bacha, it's like family ka person. So all these systems also belong to the same domain. So once you log in from any system, it will not never ask you damn password, username password. Okay. You can very easily access all applications, systems, provided you have authorization for that. Clear? So that's why I've put here as member computer because even these computers have to join the domain. All right. So this is the situation for the companies which are having on-premises servers, on-premises network. Is this clear? So if you join any company, you will find some network is on-premises, something is on the cloud. But the thing is, the trend is if they're taking any new servers, new things, they're taking on cloud. They're not spending for on-premises nowadays. They're taking cloud. All right. So any questions in this? So if no, I will proceed further. If you all have understood this, I'll proceed further.
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. Now, here I've explained, we have explained what is authentication authorization. Already I've explained to you. Authentication means proving identity of the user, example, username, password. What are the other ways of authentication? If you see your mobile, what is the other way of authentication? How does it identify that you are you?
Fingerprint,
Fingerprint is
Fingerprint,
there,
face,
face.
yes.
face is
Face
there.
recognition.
PP is there.
Yeah, so if you cut your beard, then system will not understand you, right?
But there's also a thing like a question,
What?
a special question that you only remember when you get in, like
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
favorite
security questions. Yeah,
memory. Yeah.
security questions.
Security questions here.
Questions. Yeah,
Mm.
So that is
and I think these
authentication.
days, yeah,
Hmm.
and I think these days there are a lot of options. Like Microsoft itself has their Microsoft Authenticator app. Uh,
Correct.
these applications which we see in Google Play Store,
Right.
Microsoft Authenticator,
Correct.
and I think they
Correct.
call it two-factor authorization, authentication. So
Yeah, we'll come to that. But
yes,
now you have understood what is authentication. And authorization is like once you're authenticated, what you can do.
Mm.
correct.
You can only read, you can write, you can read, write, you can modify, delete, what all you can do. That comes under authorization. So we have authentication and we have authorization like this. Clear? Understood?
Yeah.
The Active
Yes.
Directory authenticates and authorizes users on premises. So Active Directory is doing that authentication and authorization for the users on premises. Okay.
Yeah.
But now we have cloud also. So just like we have this Active Directory for on premises, we need something for cloud also. Because nowadays we are taking the servers, everything on cloud, servers, services, applications, we are putting in cloud so that you can access from anywhere.
Mm.
You can access from your laptop at home, you can access from your mobile, you may be working from home, you're working from office, you may be traveling. Okay, so the scenarios have changed. You no longer need to be in the office to work for the office, right?
Mm.
Do you all agree with this? Hmm? Hybrid environment. Hmm?
Yes, yeah,
Right?
correct.
Sir, getting? So,
Yes.
Sir, getting?
Yes. Yes.
So we need something for this kind of environment also, cloud environment also. And for that we have something called, so have you taken a sniff of this now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So we have Azure Active Directory. For Azure, Microsoft Azure, we have something called Azure Active Directory. So it is doing the job on the cloud. What Active Directory is for doing for the on-premises network, Azure Active Directory is doing the job for the cloud. Getting?
Means now the scenario, we cannot just throw the server or the server on premises away.
Huh.
Still, we're going to need it because as we're going to share some resources
Hmm.
on company, we need local server.
Hmm.
Means that's the scenario is that we need to have two server, one on cloud and one on premises.
Yes, we have hybrid networks. We have many companies, they have networks in on premises also and cloud also. We need both.
Yeah.
That is true. You're right. So that's why it says it becomes an extension of on premises Active Directory. It's not a replacement. For on premises, you need Active Directory, but for cloud, you need Azure Active Directory.
Hmm.
So you need both. If you have both, then you need both.
Hmm.
Is this clear?
Yeah.
But small companies use Azure AD as the only Active Directory. Because if you take the new companies, they are not buying any servers on premises. They are taking starting from cloud only directly.
Mm.
All startups,
Mm.
any new company, a small company or even big company, I would say they start from cloud only now. They are not investing money for on premises networks.
Mm.
So for them only Azure AD will work. They don't need Active Directory. Azure AD is good enough for them. Is this clear to you, everyone? Hmm? So Azure AD is also doing the job of authentication and authorization, but on the cloud. It will also give you single sign-on experience. Clear? Everyone clear? Any doubt? Please
Yes,
ask.
sir.
Great.
Yes, Manoj, clear.
So we go next. So coming to Ibrahim's question, we have it's an extension. Like now, what do we do if you have on-premise network and we also have network in cloud? So what do we do now? We can bridge the two. Is we don't want to create one user for on-premise and one user for cloud. Do you want to do that?
Mm.
You want to access some resources from on-premises and some resources from cloud. So we want to seamlessly access both the things, right?
Yeah.
Do you want that kind of experience or you want to again maintain two separate users and password? What do you want? Yeah. What do you want, guys?
One use.
One password would be enough.
Yeah, we want one username password,
Yes.
single sign-on.
Mm.
So it is possible nowadays. So the two directories can synchronize with each other.
Mm.
Okay, so we have some utility by which we can synchronize the two. Is this clear to everyone now?
Yes. So
Hmm. So that means if you create a user on premises, the same user automatically gets synchronized to the cloud, Azure Active Directory, and vice versa.
vice versa.
So in that case, that user can seamlessly access resources from everywhere,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Understood? Taken
Uh,
snip of this?
yes.
Hmm.
Manoj, can you
Yes, sir.
enlarge that main image a little bit? I mean, zoom in on the main picture.
Yeah, just let me see. Yeah,
Okay,
can you see
much
now?
better. Yes.
So you can see this local, this Windows Server Active Directory is being used, and this is the cloud where it's using Azure Active Directory. Okay. And you can see the union of the two, users, groups, authentication, authorization is common to all, right? Look at this. Getting it?
So just to understand the difference on the right hand side that we're seeing, they're completely on cloud and they're using Azure Active Directory. But the
Hmm.
one that we are seeing on the left hand side,
Hmm.
they have their applications on the on-premise network, but they're using the Windows Server Active Directory.
Yes, yes, correct.
Okay, so it's not completely on the cloud. They're just using the Windows Server to maintain the directory of the users.
Yeah.
Okay.
But supposing I create one user in Windows Server Active Directory, right?
Mhm.
So that same user can access the cloud resources also because that same user will get replicated to the Azure Active Directory also. It's like
Got it.
syncing.
Syncing. Okay.
It's like you have iPhone, iPad, and whatnot, right? So it syncs,
Correct.
right? If you create something here, it's created there also, and vice versa. That's what I've heard, right? It syncs everywhere.
Okay.
Clear now?
Yes.
Any other question? Mudassir, clear? Please ask any question.
Yes, yes, clear.
Okay, now we have these Okay, these are some examples of cloud offerings. Like we are using here Microsoft 365 we are using. So this Office 365 or Microsoft 365, it's very popular product nowadays. So it contains all Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, and everything is coming there in that. So that also requires authentication authorization. So it's actually using the cloud. Okay, Azure Active Directory. So when you take subscription for this, automatically in the background, it creates a Active Directory for you. Okay. So these are the offerings which Microsoft is giving you, and it is depending on the for authentication and authorizations, it is depending on the Azure Active Directory. These are cloud offerings. That means I can install my Word, Excel, PowerPoint on my mobile also, right? I can access my documents, I can do my job from my mobile, from my laptop, or from anywhere because we are subscribed to this Microsoft 365. Okay. And again, there also authentication is required, right? Authentication and authorization is required. So who will manage that? Azure Active Directory will manage, right? So when you subscribe to these services from Microsoft, in the backend, there is Azure Active Directory. Is this clear to you, everyone? Clear? Have you heard of this Office
Yes.
365, Mudassir?
Yes, yes. Single
Hmm.
user family Office 365 family also comes for
Sorry,
multiple users.
come again. Yeah, what you're saying?
Hello?
Mudassir, yet? Tell me. Tell me.
Y- Yeah, yeah. I was saying Office 365 comes for a single user and family as well.
Yeah, yeah. So we have taken some accounts and for our office, and it works beautifully, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So whenever we sign into any of the our service, one default directory is created for you always, right? The directory has user and groups which can access the resources purchased, right? The default directory is referred to as tenant. A tenant means organization. So the word tenant they're using. Tenant means what? What is tenant
Uh, I can
in
give an
real world?
example.
What is tenant? What do you mean by tenant in the real world?
Real memory, anyone who's staying at your house, you are renting out a property and
Yes,
you're
correct,
staying at
correct.
your property, so that will be a tenant.
So cloud is also like for tenants only. No, we are renting out the resources from cloud,
Network,
right?
yeah. Correct, correct,
It is based on subscription or it's tenancy only. Tenant. We are a tenant. When we take resources on the cloud, what we are doing? We are tenant. Basically, we are tenant there.
correct.
All right. So,
I can give an example. I mean, on this particular scenario,
hmm,
since we're looking at it from network perspective.
hmm,
So when we log into the Azure server, so we get when we access the application that Allscripts provides to the hospitals. So when we log into those applications, on the login screen we get an option called as tenant, and it has a drop down next to it. So that
hmm.
basically helps us select which hospital data we want to get into. So, like you said,
Okay,
tenant becomes an organization. So even that hospital is like an organization. So the network is giving us an option to select which organizations or which companies database we want to access and work on.
exactly, exactly. Yeah. So I'm teaching you theory now. Practical exercise is also there, okay, which we have to do. Hmm? So
Yeah.
as we are doing first theory, then practical. Okay. So
Yeah.
practical will follow that. Hmm? All right. So is this clear to everyone? So as soon as you subscribe to these services, one Active Directory, Azure Active Directory is created for you by default. Okay, Microsoft creates. So that is the backbone, you can say. Okay. Understand the main concept. Main concepts need to be understood properly. Others is all hands-on you will take. That's all leaves, but the root part you have to understand what exactly Azure Active Directory is, what is the purpose of that. That you need to understand very well. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now next we go to subscription. So what we need to do if you want to take anything on cloud, do anything on cloud, it starts with a subscription. So we have created a subscription, right? Which kind of subscription have you created?
The free one.
Free subscription. Yeah. So if you have a credit card, Microsoft is giving you $200 worth free for a period of 1 month. Okay.
Hmm.
Arfat has been very kind to us. Okay. All this while. Arfat, I hope your credit card is safe and you're not charged extra.
Not yet,
Hmm?
sir.
Not yet. Arfat is a worried person. I hope you're sleeping well in the night. Hmm?
Easier.
Where are you, my dear? He's there, he's there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're there, no? Okay, okay. I know it's a very sensitive issue, so I handle it diligently. Okay.
Excellent.
Especially, I can't trust Ibrahim, you know. He will do what he'll do with your card, I don't know. Okay. So we have a free subscription which will work for a month, and we'll be able to do whatever we want with that up to $200. Right? After that is done, it's done. You cannot access further. After 1 month, it's up to you. If you want, you can convert it into pay-as-you-go model. Pay-as-you-go means it will charge you, start charging you if you enable that. If you don't enable, it will remain like that. So there are many ways, billing ways. As I told you, cloud is very good in billing. The moment you use some service, it will start billing to you for sure. It is not going to spare you for any moment.
Hmm.
Okay.
Now I'm scared, sir.
Yeah, we all will bear the cost. Don't worry. The cloud charge you. Hmm?
Crime Petrol.
Please make sure it doesn't do.
Sanjay is your pal. You know, he will definitely support you.
Sir,
Sanjay has a very
Sanjay
big
will.
heart.
This reminds me of Crime Petrol, actually.
Ibrahim is only for up. Ibrahim will be only up to 20 rupees. About 20 rupees, he will not support you. Yes, when you are in danger, when you are in trouble, that time you will know who are supporting you and who are not. Okay. So it is a great opportunity for you to judge people of Arfat. So look at it as a positive
Yeah,
way.
it's a positive way.
Okay.
Look at the
Okay, sir.
value.
Okay. So billing and security boundary. So once you make a subscription, if you create any resource, that resource will be accessed only by the people who are given the authority to the subscription. Okay. So we'll see that each subscription has single account owner. Account owner is responsible for all the charges. We can transfer the subscription to another account owner. That is possible. And multiple subscription can trust one Azure AD. Azure AD is more of a management. Active Directory or Azure AD is more to do with the management, managing the organization, managing the users, managing the groups, giving the permissions, giving the authorization. Okay.
Again, the multiple subscription can trust one Azure AD.
That means supposing you take companies may take multiple subscription. They may take one subscription in India.
Hmm.
They may take one subscription in US, one in UK.
They can be all under one.
Yeah, they all, even though they're geographically separate areas or regions, you can integrate them under one Azure AD.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means through one AD, it can control everything. That means if you create a user in Azure AD, that person you can give rights to the resources UK, US, wherever like that. So it's all about management. Active Directory, Azure AD is all about management. That you have to understand. So when I teach you this Active Directory or Azure AD, always I recollect and remember one, what do you say, one movie which I had seen of Charlie Chaplin. You know Charlie Chaplin?
No.
You don't know? Arey.
I'm not a
Is
fan
that
of movies.
Charlie Chaplin, very famous character. Anybody knows Charlie Chaplin or everybody knows?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes,
I
yes.
had a poster
Oh,
of Charlie Chaplin also.
Yeah, Mudassir, you know Charlie Chaplin?
yes, yes, definitely.
Arfat?
Yes, sir, of course.
I
Of course,
think
yes.
he's famous because without uttering the words, he can make the whole world laugh with his acting.
Correct.
But
And
specifically
I
for
think,
that, he's famous.
yeah, and I
That's
think
right.
he was the one who started slapstick comedy. He originated that way, that type of comedy actually.
Mhm.
The time of, sorry.
That type of how they call it slapstick comedy. So I think he was the one who was the first one to start slapstick comedy.
Okay.
No, but humor from an object falling from the table, or he used to fall down sometimes. So
Correct, correct.
generating
Yes,
humor just from those small activities.
correct, correct, correct. So I had seen one Charlie Chaplin's movie in that, in the title song, title of that movie, Charlie Chaplin is shown as a Hitler. He is wearing that army uniform and with a small mustache. And he's sitting on a chair, and then suddenly Earth is shown as a big balloon, Earth, the whole Earth.
Mm.
And then this guy, he's a Hitler, right? So what he does, Charlie Chaplin acting as a Hitler, he start playing with that ball, which is Earth. Okay, he's just sometimes heading, sometimes shouldering, sometimes hitting with the hip, sometimes with the leg.
Okay.
So he's just playing with the Earth.
Mm.
So that shows the mentality of that person, like Hitler, like how he wanted to
Control the world.
whole world and like that. Getting?
Yeah.
So same thing you can same what you say mentality you should have when you work with the Active Directory. With Active Directory, you can control any region. Okay, your network may be located anywhere on the earth, and you can control by one Active Directory. Getting my point? What I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. You can
So Active
control.
Directory is meant for a management purpose. It's from the management perspective. Clear now? So when they say multiple subscriptions can trust one Azure AD, it means that. So a company may have many subscriptions, but they may choose to use only one Active Directory. So it will be controlled through just single Active Directory. From there, you create users, groups, you create the operations, everything you give from there. Is this clear to everyone? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
So remember this Charlie Chaplin. When I say Charlie Chaplin, you will remember the story and remember this how it is related to Active Directory. Okay. So I've given you a lot of stories, right? While teaching you. So the stories can relate a lot of things to you.
Then when you're saying subscription, it comes in my mind the type of account which you are made in Azure, either Bilinwala, yeah, it's free one. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can. That means when you're saying subscription, multiple subscription, that means different accounts can be in one Azure, in one AD.
Yeah, you have created different subscription is a billing entity, billing. If you create a subscription, supposing Ibrahim is creating a subscription, so you are like owner of that subscription. The all your credit card will be used.
Okay.
You are liable to pay.
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So if a company has many branches
I
all
can
over
add
the
it
world,
to another to Active Directory, and if somebody else make any account, his billing that will he will pay, but he can add his account to same Active Directory.
Correct. Well, like you have some servers here in India subscription, some in the US subscription, but still they'll be controlled by one Active Directory.
Hmm.
The permissions, the authorization, everything we control through one Active Directory. It means that.
Yeah.
Getting?
Yeah.
So it's just that I'm sitting here and I want to, I have a very big business all over the world. So what? So I need some control, which I can control sitting here on my one chair, just like Charlie Chaplin in that movie he was shown just sitting on one chair and just tossing the whole world.
Charlie Chaplin.
Okay, like that. The Hitler.
Mm.
You think Hitler traveled all everywhere? No, sitting on one chair, he must be ruling whole world just by his mindset.
Yes.
Getting?
Yeah.
So you become active directory champion. Don't become like Hitler. So you'll say, "Sir told us to become Hitler, and tomorrow you'll spoil my name, Baba." Okay.
Yeah. Clear.
I hope you all will do that. Don't become Hitlers. Become Hitler in the sense of active directory, Azure ready. All right. So one subscription can be associated with only one Azure AD. So many subscription can have one Azure AD, but one subscription only one Azure AD. Okay. Then resources such as databases, virtual machines, websites are associated with single subscription. User can belong to the Active Directory, and that user can you can give access to that user to. There are two things. One is user, and there are resources. When you create a user in Active Directory, that is a global user. You can assign him to any resource anywhere across the globe, right?
Yeah.
But if you have some resource, say a virtual machine in a particular subscription, it stays in that subscription. It doesn't belong to another subscription.
Yeah.
Okay. So user groups can be added to multiple subscriptions. Okay, because the user or group should be known to the Azure Active Directory. Okay. Okay, have you taken a snip of this now?
Yes.
Yes, everyone? Okay, great.
So
Yeah.
actually, we add a machine to Active Directory, right? So in Azure, it's the same thing. We add machine to Active Directory, or we add full subscription to Active Directory.
Subscription.
Okay.
Good question.
Hmm.
So here it's shown in the picture. So this
Yeah.
Azure AD has
I think
got two subscriptions.
Yeah, and I think the previous slide there was a point that the one which Ibrahim just said. So the virtual networks, virtual machines are a part of subscription, and then subscription is a part of the AD.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Correct, Sanjay.
Yes. Hmm.
Very correct.
Take a snip of this one also.
Thank you, Sanjay.
No problem, Ibrahim. So I think in this one they've shown two different directories where one subscription, two subscriptions can be a part of the same directory. I think there was a point like this on the previous slide.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it shows. And you can invite one user to another directory. Like Active Directory means Azure Active Directory means one organization, okay?
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
So when you say Azure, a particular Azure directory means one organization. So it is possible that you can invite a person from another organization to your organization. Sometimes what happens, let's say your customer, you want to give access to some of the resources in your Active Directory. Okay. So what we do, we tend to create a user by his name in our directory, and then we
Give him the user
give the password and all that. No, you will see the exercise where you can invite people from other organization to your organization and give them access.
Hmm.
So this is a basic need in any organization, right? In any business. Sometimes we want to give temporary access to some resources in your company, right? To your clients. So in that case, we can always invite that person from other organization to your organization and give him some tasks, some permissions. Is this clear?
Yeah, yeah.
So in the one of the labs which we will do in it will have this kind of thing there.
Hmm.
Getting guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Great. Now the next thing is, so up to now, any questions to summarize what is Active Directory? What is the main job of Active Directory? Can you tell me now? Come on. Let me see how much you remember. What is the main job of Active Directory?
The main job of Active Directory.
What is the main task of Active Directory? Yes, who will tell? Ritik, can you tell me? Ritik, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what is the main task of Active Directory? Main job of Active Directory. Come on, tell. Yeah, Mudassir.
Yes, Active Directory is it covers two parts. Parts first, authentication and authorization.
Correct.
Authentication is where you have to prove your identity, like username and password.
Hmm.
And the authorization means uh, the type of access which is allowed, like only read, write, edit, modify, etc.
Yes, correct, correct. Correct. So Active Directory, the job of Active Directory is authentication and authorization.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So that is what you have to understand. Clear, everyone? By the way, Mudassir is in Kuwait. You are in Kuwait, no, Mudassir? Right? He's
Yes, yes,
joining from
Manoj.
Kuwait. Okay.
What
He's joining the class from Kuwait.
Okay. Where is he from? Where is he from?
He's from Kuwait.
Okay.
You're actually you're permanently resident of Kuwait, right?
No, no, I'm from India only. Now residing in Kuwait past 8, 9 years.
8 to 9 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ibrahim wants to come to Kuwait. That's why he's asking.
Most welcome.
Yeah. I'll let you know which date.
Yeah, Mudassir has a big heart. So
But you should have a big heart for the summer and winter over here because now we are having 3 and 5 degree over here. And
oh,
summer also it reaches like 58, 57 like this.
Oh,
oh my God.
it's too hot.
Now we cannot stay in a room without heater. It's too
Yeah,
cold.
it's very cold there. Hmm.
Very
Yes.
cold.
What is the temperature now there?
Now it should be somewhere around 8 or 9.
8,
Oh,
9 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay.
degree.
Yes, yes.
Pune is
And
also 6.5 degrees, my dear. Pune is,
It reached this.
it was 6 degrees,
Huh?
6, 7 degrees. Yeah.
mm,
Actually, I didn't feel it.
You didn't feel it.
Yeah.
Somebody told me it was 6 degrees.
But in Rajasthan, it would be 6, but here it would be 10.
10, acha, okay. All right. Okay, so we saw that and we saw that Active Directory is for on-premise and Azure Active Directory is for cloud. Okay, it's doing the job. So it is actually identity management provider, you can say. In other words, we can say Active Directory is nothing but identity management provider. What is Active Directory? It's an identity management provider. Identity management provider. That is Active Directory. Okay. Then what else we studied? What is user? What is group? Group is a collection of users, right?
Yes.
So it's better to give permissions to the group rather than user.
User.
That we saw,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then we saw a subscription in Active Directory,
Yeah.
in Azure Active Directory, in the cloud.
Yeah.
We also saw, sorry, single sign-on. We saw that single sign-on. Single sign-on means once the user logs in, the user can
Can have
access all the systems
Yeah.
and applications without again logging in. Okay.
Yeah.
We saw that on premises we have domain controllers. We saw what is domain. Domain is like a family of users and computers governed by domain controllers.
Mm.
On premises network, we are having domain controllers on which the Active Directory is installed.
Yeah.
We should have at least two domain controllers. Why do we have two domain controllers?
One
Yeah.
What's
crash
the
out,
need?
other can back up.
Yeah, as a fault tolerance,
Fault
one thing, and
tolerance.
second is performance.
Performance, yeah.
Yeah.
How it will give better performance?
By spreading or giving different tasks.
Yeah, by dividing the roles.
Yeah. On the lots.
By dividing the roles, we can have better performance, right?
Yeah.
The roles get divided, so better performance. That is another thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is how it works. Then we saw some of the services Microsoft is providing. The backbone is Azure Activity, like Microsoft Office 365, which I told you. Okay.
Mm.
So Azure Active Directory uses the backbone there. Hmm. Then you saw subscription is a billing entity. So subscription owner gets the has to pay the bill. Okay. We saw about the free subscription. Then we saw that many subscriptions can be associated with single Active Directory. But one Active Directory, one subscription will have only one Active Directory, right? And we also saw that we can invite users from other Active Directory to your organization. Active Directory is like Azure Active Directory is also called as tenant. Tenant means organization. Clear? So that is how it works. Right? Done? So in the next class, what we'll do is we will be looking at the roles. Means we create some roles, how to give authorizations, right?
Mm.
So whenever any new user joins, first you create a user account, then you make groups, and then you give permissions. When you give permissions, nowadays instead of giving permission, we assign roles. Role is a collection of permissions. Like if you have manager role, you already know what manager can do, right? So instead of saying if you employ someone, you say you give the authority that you can do this. But if I just make a role, I say okay, you have manager role, so he will do all this task he will do, right?
Mm.
So same way here we can create some roles or some built-in roles are there. So when the user is joining the Active Directory or when you're adding some users, you add into a group, and then to give permission, you can assign the roles. So we have to see what are the roles available already in the Active Directory, which we can assign to people. We can create our own roles also, but all ready-made roles are there, which you can assign and the people can start using them and the thing is done. Getting?
Yeah.
So that we need to check next time. And once we do that, then we will have a lab. We'll do a lab in Active Directory where we will see all these things, right? Clear, guys? Everyone clear?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
Pawan.
for connecting with me today. I'll
Thank you.
see you next class. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
Swan.
much.
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Sir, Ritik here.
Yeah, tell me.
Uh, Sir, I'd like to just
Huh?
know about the update on the certificate.
Yeah, I'll call you in some time.
Okay, sir.
I'll call you, tell you. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.